Hello friends, today you're going to be looking at the long O sound. So there are a few different ways we can write a long O sound. The letters O, OA, OW, and OE can stand for the long O sound. So look at the word so. That has an O by itself that makes a long O sound. Then you have road. You have OA together, two vowels go walking, and the first one does the talking. So you have the word row with an OA making the long O sound. You can also have LOW, low, that OW makes the long O sound. And finally, you can have OE that make the long O sound, kind of the same rule as the OA. So in the word woe, you have OE that makes the long O sound. So in part A, you're going to say each picture name and circle the word that names the picture and write it on the line. So looking at this picture in the first one, you have the word gold. So their choices were gold and gas. So gold, the word gold shows you what you have in the picture, and it has a long O sound that stands by itself. So they circled gold and they've written it on the line. That's what you are going to do for number 2, number 3, and number 4. On this bottom part, you're going to be looking at contractions. So it says a contraction is a short way to write two words. An apostrophe takes the place of the missing letters. The contraction of have not is haven't. So notice how they put have not together. They took out the O and instead they have a apostrophe. Remember, an apostrophe goes up in the air between the two letters. So number B, directions say, replace the crossed out letter with an apostrophe and write the contraction. So you notice they have already crossed out the letter that you're not going to include in the contraction. So instead of writing that letter, you're going to put your apostrophe. Okay, you're going to do that for number 6, cannot, and number 7, do not, and number 8, is not. You're going to be replacing that letter they crossed out and putting in apostrophe and making the two words into one word. On the back side, you're going to be thinking about synonyms. Synonyms are words that have almost the same meaning. Big and large are synonyms. So what you're going to do is read each pair of sentences, look at the underlined word in the first sentence, circle a synonym for it in the second sentence. So if I look at number 1, it says, he took a solo bike trip at age 16. So they're underlining the word solo, which means in sentence 2, you need to find a word and circle it that means almost the same thing as solo. Doug rode alone. So the word I will circle is alone. If I do something solo, then I'm doing it by myself. If I do something alone, I'm also doing it by myself. Number 2, you have the same sentence at the top. He took a solo bike trip at age 16. But now the word trip is underlined. So in my next sentence, I have to circle the word that means almost the same thing as trip. It says that's a big journey. So I'm going to circle journey. Journey and trip mean almost the same thing. So for numbers 3, 4, and 5, I'm going to read the sentence to you. And in the second sentence, so in these sentences, you'll need to circle a word that means almost the same thing as your underlined word. So number 3. Now, Doug often rides with children. The group sets up bike rides for city kids. So in this sentence, you're going to circle the word that means almost the same thing as children. Number 4. The children get to appreciate nature. They enjoy being outdoors. So in this sentence, you're going to circle the word that means almost the same thing as appreciate. Number 5. They weren't sure if it was safe to touch it. Then the children were certain it was harmless. So what word in this second sentence means almost the same as safe? When you're done, go ahead and turn it in.